Hello everybody, thank you for watching our video. This is Jimmy Wu from Prowork Pacific Inc, your licensed architect. Before we start our video, let's do us 4 things again. Give us a like, leave us a comment, subscribe us, and then also share our video with your friend. Remember, subscribe us is free. It doesn't cost you a penny if you subscribe us, so you will not miss our other video. Okay, today I'm talking about one question because this topic actually is some customer. They come to us, they will ask me this question. Oh, Jimmy, can you guarantee I can get my permit? Can you guarantee my house building permit? This, to me, before, I always find this is like an interesting question. In my mind, I think, why we need to guarantee? Because if we design correctly, and we know we design correctly, we follow the code, follow the LUO, everything, you definitely will get your permit. Because if this is like a residential lot, right? You want to apply building permit for a house, yes, they will give you. And then until lately, I have seen some cases which I misunderstanding why some owner will ask this question, and the reasons basically all come from the same reason, is because they do not have a qualified designer, or design professional, because there's a lot of things they mess up when the time you're doing design. So today I want to share some sample. What is a major part? If you violate that or you make this kind of error, yes, you cannot get your permit. And then if you know that, then you probably want to make sure that your design professional or your draftsman, your architect should know about this. This is not something like which one more important. I just listed out, one by one talk about that. Doesn't mean which one is more important. Okay? One thing about building and zoning error, zoning code error. So including building code, including LUO. Now, some land, if you listen about my previous video, I talk about in R5 land, if you land big enough, you can propose, you can do 2 dwelling, right? Connected dwelling that we call 2-family detached dwelling. However, when we try to, if the owner want to propose a second dwelling, in your first house, we want to do a second dwelling, you suppose do a sewer connection application to make sure the sewer capacity along that area, along the line in that community, that area is sufficient. But I have seen some people, architect or draftsman, they didn't check the sewer capacity and just start doing the drawings. And then when they submit to DBP, and then DBP come and say, oh, you know what, your sewer capacity is not sufficient for your second dwelling, then you cannot do your second house. So then the whole project becomes waste. All the drawings, all the time, all the design. So this is one of the very typical one, when draftsmen, they do a design for second dwelling, but without doing an SCA, sewer connection application. And also, this happened to also people try to do it. They do the Ohana ADU project without doing a pre-check. In the pre-check, one of the important things is about the sewer capacity. If the land is a CPR lot, means like in this lot, let's say is a big enough lot, you have like several houses already, and everybody buy the CPR, right? Now, for a CPR lot, if you cannot have another dwelling with your dwelling, means if that is a CPR lot has been, built like 4 houses in this lot, and now can each house get one more ADU? Cannot. Okay, you cannot get ADU if you are on CPR lot, because for ADU or Ohana, there's one condition: is only allow one original is one house in that lot. Then you can apply ADU or Ohana. If it's a CPR lot, then you cannot do Ohana, you cannot do ADU. Okay. And there's another one, right? Also is when you have a single family dwelling, let's say typical one, right? 5,000 square feet, single family dwelling. Now, this is a lot of draftsmen, they have made that as a mistake, is because owner want to say, oh, I want to, in future, possibly I want to rent it out partial of my house. So the draftsman, they do design or they draw the house to become like a 2-unit. Sometimes they draw 2 kitchens, or they draw 2 wet bars, right? Or they draw too many bathrooms. That is one. Another thing is if they draw 2 kitchens, also they make it like a separate portion. They completely separate, no access cannot go through. Then they definitely cannot get a permit on that, because a single family dwelling, you have to be a single family dwelling. It's only getting 1 kitchen, 1 wet bar, 1 laundry, and also going to be all interior accessible. the whole space. So it's very important on that. So, but some, we know that is some, I have seen some drawings that, let's say they do a basement, one house, they want to live it up and put a basement, make another 2-bedroom downstairs, and then they have no interior access. It's a separate entrance from the main house, from the main level. So then you won't get a permit on that. You cannot. That is, I have seen that, that's why I want to bring it up. Also is because we have new ordinance from last year regarding the parking. We're now doing new construction. The parking count has been different. Actually, they require more parking when you have more floor area. It's pretty much 1,000 square feet. You need one parking. If the draftsman are missing that out, then he keep designing a big, addition in the back, but somehow you cannot make the enough parking. Then you will not able to get your, addition approved because you do not have enough parking. The typical way is some houses went on the hillside, like Pacific Heights, right? A lot of hillside is down the road, so they only have 2 parking right by the driveway, and they cannot have more. So then the whole property, is limited to that 2 parking, and they give you only up to 2,499 square feet, because when you pass the 50% 500, then you will need another parking in 3 parking, but you do not, right? It doesn't have a space of that, so that's why you cannot. So if you add addition, I try to add addition to another, several more, 1,000 square feet to the property, then you cannot do it because you do not provide enough parking. Let's say this is one of the things very important. Also, even you have, in the frontage, you get front yard, you get, I got a big opening in the front. I can put 4 cars, 5 cars, 6 cars, right? Now, another issue is now they have requirement when you have 5 cars or more. That means, more than 4 cars, right? You need to provide sufficient maneuvering space. That means the car can turn around inside the property and heading out. Now, this is a new LUO code on that. So a lot of people, I see that they're missing that one. They do not see that one, and they try adding more floor area to the house, and then that way they will not get the, get the permit on that. And also is they breaking some grandfather clause. Now, grandfather clause means being non-conforming structure. For example, some old parking structure, parking garage or carport is right at the property line without setback. And what they do is they try to demolish the carport and rebuild a new one. So that part, but they don't know, if you demolish the whole carport, that means you lose the grandfathers and you cannot rebuild. Because when you rebuild, then the new carport can have 10 feet setback. Okay. Similar when you have the other situation, when you have on the backside, maybe you have some portion of the protruding inside the setback. Now, if you demolish, take down the part, you cannot rebuild. Now, a lot of draftsmen I have seen that is they do just take down some non-conforming structure and rebuild more. And then about non-conforming structure. There's one case is you exceed the non-conforming limit, which is it happens in flood zone. Now in flood zone, if there's a floodplain height, if your house, the finished floor is lower than this floodplain, then your whole house is considered, the whole is considered is non-conforming. Now for this type of non-conforming, BPP only allows you to build no more than 50% of your existing structure value. In other words, if you have very old house, in the certain area is a flood zone, and your old house floodplain is, the finished floor is lower than the floodplain. Then example, the very old house, small, right? And you only maybe that the assessment value for that house, for the structure itself, maybe only $200,000 or even less. I have seen some cases only $100,000. Now you are only allowed to build 50% of that $100,000, so only $50,000. But I have seen someone to come in and then they put entire first floor and second floor addition to the house. So then again, then you would not be allowed unless you make adjustment to the whole house to become conform. Then you can do otherwise. Because that addition is attached to the existing, and because the existing is non-conforming, so you cannot do more than 50% of the existing. Okay, so this is something that if architect or the design professional, draftsman, they do not know that, and then just start do a drawing and submit, yes, that's true, they would not get the permit. And also is setback. Okay, if they some people they're not aware of the new setback requirement from the new ordinance. When they do over 0.6 of FAR, they need to have 11 feet setback right now, and there are a lot of them they just do 8 feet setback. Then it will affect the whole building configuration, and they have to making a lot of changes. And some adjustment doesn't know how to address that. Okay, so then become again the UK they cannot get their building permit. And another one is some houses in Hawaii Ridge, Wailiki, they have some homeowner associate HOA, and also they have their own guideline, right? Called luxury house HOA. They have their own area limit, and their limit is less than DPP or LUO limit. Like for example, right nowadays when we do our LUO is a 0.6, right? We can do FAR 0.6, 0.7. Now, if your land is like 10,000 square feet, you can build up to 6,000 square feet home, right? But I knew that in some HOA, their guideline only allow 0.4. That means if you have a 10,000 square feet land, you can only build 4,000 square feet house. Okay, so if the architect, they don't know that, they omit that part, even they submit to get a permit, okay, then they will get revoked by the HOA later. So they will even getting worse. Okay, so that is a part is that if your design professional doesn't know about this. So make sure that when you hire professional, they should know all about this. Also, one is the more extreme is that is a residential land, but if that property is in landslide area, that is some landslide lot is being condemned by city in past time 10, 20 years, and now they release those property back out to the public. However, those is still a big challenge because city will have a lot of requirement to ask your engineer, design professional to make sure that the land doesn't slide, that doesn't affect your structure, or it won't affect down the road the other property and city road like that. And that is a big challenge because a lot of engineers, they say, if the land gonna move, how do we know? How can we guarantee? How can we say, no, I certify, I guarantee the land never move again? Maybe it doesn't move in next 10 years, but how about another 20 years? If the land moves, then how do we certify? How do we guarantee that? So a lot of engineers handling this situation, and they refuse to do this kind of project. So if you have a land, you bought a land like this, and you have a higher adjustment of design professional, and he doesn't know about this, and he just start doing the design work or project, you might end up is you cannot get your permit because the engineer will not guarantee the land work or landslide to the city. So this kind of thing is a sample of that will make owner cannot get the permit. Another type is called omission of discretionary permits. One time I mentioned in another video in the SAI, the special assignment inspection, there's one of the criteria say no discretionary permits, right? Including those SMA, shoreline, floodway, special district, conditional use permit, variance, etc. Those are also something that if your design professor doesn't even know about this, that is a big omission. And then I have seen one client come to me and want me to do TPR for his project in oceanfront. And then he showed me the plan and drawings, and then I told you what is the shoreline setback? Where is your SMA permit? And he said, no, I mean, my designer said, no need, he just draw the plan and the whole set of drawings. So that I have to explain to the owner, I said, no, this totally not. Your house is right at the ocean line, in the ocean front right now, only get 10, 20 feet setback from your property line. How can you do that? Because you have a shoreline setback. But the designer doesn't even know about, he has shoreline setback. And not even mention about it, SMA major and all this stuff, right? So then the whole project, we tell him, you cannot get permit like this. And the whole project gonna turn down, and he gotta go back to the designer, and then, he gonna find someone else to do it, or have the designer to redo it again. So sometimes like this, it's not only the losing money, it's losing time also. The owner I met, he spent a year with that designer, and then design the house, do the drawings, and, but I tell him, no, this plan doesn't work at all. You won't get permit for that. That is something that probably now, owner, you need to be aware of it. In these few years, I have been seeing different cases from owner, maybe from architect, and I find that there is some they cannot, get building permit. Although when customer asks me, can I guarantee? Usually to me, I never get this situation with DPPs. Oh, my design cannot get building permit, because that depends on the knowledge and experience of the design professional. If he doesn't know, he doesn't have sufficient knowledge, experience, yes, then you might have into a chance, especially you have something special to your property. As an owner, so this is another time I gotta tell the owner, if you want to have a safe project, quality project, you better look for qualified design professional for your project. If you have any question, feel free to email us or give us a comment. Before we finish, give us a like, leave us a comment, Share this with your friend, and then also don't forget subscribe us. It doesn't cost you a penny, and you will not miss our other videos. Thank you very much.